Yes, yes. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earths.
Peace.
And all of the righteous families of the planet. It's your big brother Fahim, aka Day Son of God.
Black God Rah.
Yo, man, what's with this weather out here, God?
Man, God.
In my car, it said 60 degrees, or like last night it said 55.
Yeah.
It felt every bit of 39, 40. Like,
yeah, I bet.
It's crazy.
The crazy thing is, God,
that cold front.
It switches. This will get you under the weather, because the weather will be in the daytime, it might be 70. Mm-hmm. Then at night it might get to 30 something. And then it don't stay 30 something long. By the time you wake up in the morning, it might be 50 again.
Yeah.
So it keeps going back and forth. So your body can't adjust to that. Like I was telling somebody in Chicago, the queen in Chicago, last night, she said, how do you get under the weather? I said, because the weather changes here. In Chicago, if it's cold, it's just cold. Mm-hmm. Your body's adjusted to one temperature. So that's what it is.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, like I said, this is the first time I think since I met you that I heard you a little stopped up or whatever.
God. That's rare. And then I got stopped up because my queens, got me stopped up.
Yeah.
And my son was stopped up.
Yeah. We gotta, you know what I'm saying? Just, it's crazy, man. This weather. They said Chicago was colder than Antarctica. Antarctic. Somebody was telling me the other day, and I was like, wow, I gotta check that out. 65 below or something, some crazy,
Yeah, God.
You know what I'm saying? I already know my old neighborhood, back in Brooklyn, like I lived in Coney Island, Brooklyn. So
I know it's cold.
We in New York, we say it's brick. It's like, you know what I'm saying? The hawk is like out crazy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just dealing with, of course, I'm gonna call it the tomfoolery, a lot of these, so-called gods, be trying to, put out there.
Yeah.
Just talking about basically the Father, Father Allah, you know what I'm saying? Me, and I think I did a build on this once before where I was just talking about as far as like, his attribute.
Indeed.
And that's 5%ers, whether in the Nation of Islam, 5%ers or whatever, I was always taught that his attribute was Father Allah or the Father.
That's right,
exactly. You know what I'm saying? Either or.
That's right, exactly. That's right, exactly.
I don't call him Puddin'.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call him by his government last name, Smith or whatever, because we know those were slave names.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Or honorable names.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, his first name, Clarence, would be his honorable name because that's the name his mother gave him.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And in the Nation of Islam, I just, like I was building with a brother the other day, and I was just telling him, I said, in the Nation of Islam, when you get your X, a lot of people, I guess, downplay the X because, of course, X we know means unknown. But I guess a lot of people take it to mean, oh, he don't know who he is because he got an X. No, the X is only symbolizing that I know that my origin is from the creator of this universe, Allah God. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I know that. So I'm connecting myself back to that. However, I don't know my last name of my family, whether whatever tribe or whatever we came from in Africa, we don't know because, we know everything went like this when the white man broke us apart. So the X is just symbolizing that I'm trying to reunite with my own. You know what I'm saying? This is what the X means, but a lot of gods I see in the Nation of Gods on Earth look at the X as, so even if someone says, Brother Clarence 13X, they say, oh, that's disrespectful. My thing is this, and I said this once before, if a person is not in that nation,
they're not obligated.
Then you shouldn't really be obligated to,
The thing is, God, like I told you, if you're not this nation, and if you're not that nation, you're not going to call, he's not my daddy, so I'm not going to call your daddy daddy. Right. I might respect him and say, how you doing, Mr. Davis?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say, hey, daddy.
Yeah.
Because you call him daddy, I'm going to call him daddy. I'm not in your family.
Right.
I'm a friend of the family.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give him respect and say, hey, how you doing, Mr. Davis?
Mm-hmm.
See, my thing is these cats, they fight over stuff so rudimentary.
Right.
You know, we fight over stuff animals and everybody else don't even fight over. You think people that Africa fighting over last names? You think lions, just call me a lion. I don't have a last name. Just call me a tiger. I don't have a last name. Call me a gorilla. Call me a zebra. We ain't fighting over that. You understand? These people are fighting over stuff so rudimentary, dude.
It's simple stuff, you know.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Moors, me and another brother, and you know, he said, you know, he's talking about Prophet Noble Jew Ali. You know, and I said, you know, I respect the Moors because one thing about it is I don't really refer to Noble Jew Ali as prophet. You know, I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. But I'm not in the Moor Science Temple, but those brothers don't say, oh, you better call him prophet. You better say prophet before you say Noble Jew Ali. It's not that serious.
Let me see this.
It's just like if somebody who's not in the Nation of Islam and they refer to Elijah Muhammad as Elijah. Or they just say Elijah Muhammad. In the nation, we say the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, but you don't have to say that if you're not in my nation.
God, the crazy thing about it is the same quote unquote gods who won't call the honorable minister Louis Farrakhan honorable, but you'll go to that courtroom and call that white quote unquote devil honorable or your honor.
Good point.
You understand? So get off the BS, man.
Good point.
You'll go to that courthouse and say, yes, your honor. All right, your honor, but you won't even call a man who's been showing and proving for over 30 years, your honor. And my question is this.
That's a good point.
I'm a 5%er. My question is this. How can I ridicule somebody who's been putting in more work than anybody in the school? Showing and proving. I was just listening to Killer Mike today on the Breakfast Club. You know what he said? He said we don't have our own. We need to start investing in our own. He said we need our own grocery stores and everything else. He said, but he named a person who had a grocery store in Atlanta.
Right.
It was owned by who? The Nation of Islam. So I said, it should be an honor for somebody to say, hey, even refer to the 5%ers and go back and say the lineage came from here. Right. The NOI. Because everywhere I go and I travel, I talk to people about 5%ers. Nation of God's earth, or quote unquote, our lives 5%ers, whatever you want to call yourself. And you know what they say? Who is that? What is that? So why the hell is you arguing and complaining and getting on posts and everything else, beefing with somebody that's teaching instead of spreading the message? Instead of saying, oh, come to the school of Mecca. Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's no school of Mecca in the Bahamas. I just came from Mexico last week, God. Progreso, Mexico, and Cozumel. There's no school of Mecca over there. But who was over there teaching? I never told them. I never said, hey, go to the school of Mecca so you can know what a 5% is.
Yeah, no, God is seen and heard everywhere.
The sad thing.
Right here, right now.
I'm building with,
True indeed.
I'm building with some Mexicans over there, and I'm telling them about the 5% nation and everything else. They ask me, what is that? And let me tell you another sad thing. The nation of God's earth been around for how many years? Since the 60s. Why are we not known more as 5%ers, but just in New York? Why would I go around Texas? I go to California. I go to Miami. I go to different places. And maybe it might be a person here and there might know who a 5% is. Maybe. Right. But the majority, I got to say, well, the Nation of Islam, the father was in the Nation of Islam. He came out the Nation of Islam.
You got to say that.
So we arguing over what? We arguing over Muslim God. Why the father didn't teach Muslim God? Apparently, God, the father wasn't around long enough to teach anything.
Right. True indeed.
The nation was just known in New York and New Jersey. When the father was here. It wasn't spread wide. No. So stop all that. What the father taught, come to the school of Mecca. Do you hear anybody in the Nation of Islam saying, come to Harlem, come to the Temple 7?
Come to Chicago, come to Mosque.
They gonna teach you everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere. I can go down to the 3rd Ward and I give a teach. I can see Nation of Islam members now here in Houston, Texas. Handing out final calls.
And if you got a question,
they're going to answer your question right there.
And the thing is, that even extends past the Nation of Islam. I even know Hebrew Israelites. Jehovah Witness. know, they're gonna they're gonna deal with whatever question
They're gonna have their watchtower in their hand, and when you talk to them, I built with them. See, the problem is they don't understand. When you grounded in your culture, you could go everywhere.
Right.
You can go everywhere. You don't got to just say, here, I'm right here.
Right.
You can move around.
Yeah.
Because your foundation's strong. My foundation's strong. I can go wherever I travel. I can go and build. I can go to where they practice the Zen Buddhism.
Right.
Sit down and build with them.
Yeah, make knowledge born,
Yeah. But now some of these supposed to be gods, you know what they're going to do? Come to the school of Mecca. Allah didn't teach that Buddhist stuff in his temple. Allah was around. How long was the nation around? Allah was around about 4 years. For 2 of those years, he was incarcerated. You know how hard it is to teach somebody when you're incarcerated?
A nation,
a whole nation.
Yeah.
So it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
What are you doing to add on?
Yeah.
You still talking about what the Father didn't teach. What are you teaching?
Yeah.
What are you bringing to the table?
True indeed.
It's just God. It's just a lot of clowns to me.
Yeah.
Clowns.
I mean, the thing is, just attributes. At the end of the day, people got to understand what an attribute is.
I give it another 10 years.
The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad in some of his books, mentioned, Master Fard Muhammad, and he said, we offer our prayers or supplications or whatever. And if we add that name in there, Master Fard Muhammad, Fard Muhammad's name in there, it's still right and exact for the simple fact that we're not praying to the man, the flesh, it was his attribute that we were praying. I think we built on that too.
Yeah.
And I was just mentioning that the name Farad Muhammad, Farad means one who is obligated. You're obligated to follow.
Exactly.
If he gave you a way or an example, you have an obligation. It's obligatory that you follow in his way. The name Muhammad means one worthy of praise or one who is praised much.
You know what, God?
So it's the attribute. You know what I'm saying? It's not the individual. So at the end of the day, the Father, I could call him Allah in that sense. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an individual who is carrying an attribute that left an example that we're all trying to follow. You know what I'm saying? But to just put stipulations and stuff, you better call him this and that when you come into, like you just said earlier, God, that like if you was to invite me to your mom's crib and I come through and I hear your mom's call you something other than Black God Ra, and I get, hey, no, you don't call him Michael, you call him Ra Black God. Your moms would be like, who's this Negro you brought into my house?
See, God, I think it's this. You got these, you got these people that want to be so sophisticated, so neurosurgeon, brain, rocket science with the lessons and everything else. And I tell you, every bill, all y'all got is lessons. All you got is 120. Oh, come to the school. All right, cool. You might have a computer class. You might got a martial arts class. You might got all this. What's after I graduate from school? As I graduate from high school, I go to college. As I graduate from college and get this degree, where am I going to get my job at? Am I going to be able to work for a God or a devil? And if I can't work for a God, shut the fuck up about going to some kind of school. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to go to your fucking school if I got to go to school and I got to go work for a devil. Fuck out of here. But you go.
You got your whole 120.
I got my 120. I got my degree.
But
I got my degree or my diploma from this school where the God's at, but I got to go work for a devil.
That's another good point.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's another good point.
What kind of logic is that?
That's a good point. Yeah.
So that's why I preach and teach economics. How we gonna get this goals? How we gonna do it economically? Because we got one main school that these cats keep on saying, go to school, go to the school. Why you say go to the grocery store? The God's own. Go to the barbershop, the God's own. Go to that school over there that the God's teaching over there, they teaching these kids economics. Go to the school over here that we got the Ubers.
Many places we could send you,
But now you've been around since the 60s.
Right.
The school is only gonna be there for 40 more years.
Yeah.
Before they turn that shit to a Starbucks. This is real shit. It's in Harlem.
It's where,
No people gonna turn that shit to a Starbucks. Then what we gonna build? On the monkey bars when you doing pull-ups? At the stoplight? At the park?
You're right.
What the fuck is you talking about?
You're right.
Y'all sound stupid.
You're right.
Nobody talking about, oh shit, man. Look, 40 years go by like this.
Yeah. Especially you ain't doing nothing.
My daughter about to be 20 this month. I'm coming up.
Yeah.
That's 20 years.
Yeah.
40 years go by like this. Then what? If we gonna move from this little small ass school to a mansion, a pyramid, we should be in a pyramid by now. All these years from the 60s on to 2020, it should be a goddamn pyramid.
I mean, my thing is,
if you say you gods, you supposed to be meet what gods meet.
Right. I mean, and you're absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from what I understand, it used to be a barbershop back in the 60s, but the father, got something signed by the mayor to,
Yeah.
And the rent there is like, what, $1, $2, something like that?
$1, something like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing.
On the block.
Yeah. You're supposed to have added on, I mean, how many guards know construction? How many guards are skilled in plumbing? How many guards are skilled in electrical?
That's all we say.
How many guards are, these trades that the father really tried to push us to learn?
So when you saying you teaching the babies, you teaching the babies at the Allah School of Mecca, but watch this. They still going to public school.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this going to the school of Mecca and they still got to go to public school?
Yeah.
If it's a real school, they shouldn't have to go to the devil school.
Yeah.
They should be here. Stop telling me to come to the school.
Even just not to patronize with them, but let's just say even if it was a daycare, do they even have a daycare there for the kids?
Who the hell if I know? Because I ain't never been to the school.
I've been to the school. It's been since the 90s since I've been to the school, but ever since 2000, since I joined with the Nation of Islam and came under the teachings and the tutelage of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. The last time I went up to the school, it was a big dispute because I'm out there telling brothers, I think, I want to say it was a Law B. A Law B saw me walking. My son is my oldest God, is Wisdom God.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? 27 years old, my oldest son. And I remember at the time, he might have been like 5 or something like that, 6 years old. And we was leaving the Temple number 7, which is right up the street. And I had a final call with me.
All right.
I'm supporting both nations. I'm coming to the Nation of Islam. I got a little final call, got me a little bean pie. I'm like, let me go step by and see the
like the elders do with the wisdom book.
Yeah, let me come and get a pie.
You know what I'm saying? It's all like the elders do when they pull out the wisdom book on the interviews.
Yeah.
All right, that's what you're doing. All right, come on.
Let me come down, let me get a little pile of paper. And I think I was standing up there, and I think Allah and there was some other guards that was out there at the time, if I can remember clearly. Mm-hmm. This was in like 98, 99, I want to say. It was something like that.
I was in college.
But the brother was like, he saw me with the final call and some of the guards, and they was just like, and I'm like, what's the difference?
Did the father have final call?
Did the father have final call?
Did he walk around with the
Well, not final call, but back then Muhammad speaks.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't he?
He did. And didn't the father have message to the black man?
Yeah, message to the black man, not just the father, but the elders.
Yeah.
The firstborn. Allah the firstborn.
They still got wisdom books.
So I just it's really confusing to me, God.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, brothers in the mosque who get their X are probably more astute with the teachings than a lot of newborns at the school.
God, you know who made me want to really?
They have the same teachers.
You know who made me really? The crazy thing about who made me really want to study even more, because I had my lessons, but and my enlighteners gave me my lessons, but my enlighteners were older. They came from the Nation of Islam.
Right.
So they were older like, so they would never let me disrespect the rule.
Right.
My first enlightenment, before I had my lessons, I had a Quran.
You had good enlightenment. See, me, when I first got knowledge of self, I was told that Minister Farrakhan and those brothers down there in the Nation of Islam, they cool and everything, but they 10%ers, because they got our lessons, and they, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They got, listen to the words now, they got our lessons, but they teaching that Master Fard Muhammad is who's a half original and he's this, he's that. So, so it was always in my mind. I got stuck with pins in my head, as a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like I did a bill before, a baby don't know how to go back and forth. So I couldn't dispute what was being told to me. Mm-hmm. I just took it at face value, as we all do when we get our lessons. Indeed. You take your lessons on face value. You don't have knowledge to dispute your enlightenment. Mm-hmm. So I took that on face value. Right. But then years later, after leaving New York, coming down to Georgia, meeting with brothers who was originally from New York, and that was 5%ers, or used to be 5, and now they're in the Nation of Islam, they would bomb my ass.
You make a valid point, though. You know why? You just said you came down from New York to Atlanta.
Right.
And I think a lot of people need to do this. They need to go from New York and start building with 5%ers from different states. Because, not saying that they don't in New York, because I love New York, been there a couple of times, but my thing is, people in other states, they go digging deep to the root. They want to know everything about something, because since it started here in New York, a lot of cats get lazy and be like, oh, I can just study from here.
Right.
But in Atlanta, Texas, and everywhere else, they be like, man, well, where did the father originally was born? He was born in Victory Allah. Where did this come from? Who brought him to the temple? What temple was he in? Temple 7. They want to know everything about a culture. Right, it's like, that's like a Christian who just pray to Jesus, but don't know nothing about the Nicene Council.
Never been to Jerusalem,
None of that. They never even read or studied about it. They never even read their Bible from cover to cover. That's the difference between a Christian and a Muslim. A Muslim has to read his Quran, especially during Ramadan, cover to cover.
It's foreign, right? Exactly. It's obligatory.
So you know,
right? Yeah, exactly.
Why don't you study your history from cover to cover every year instead of giving a person, here go your degrees, or here go degree by degree. All right, I got these degrees, but come on now, let's rewind and go back here so I can know the foundation. Your foundation ain't gonna never be strong if I just say, well, they got our lessons. Come on, man. And then a person that you teaching and you telling them they got our lessons, and then they find out, they do the chronology, and they find out, they're gonna be like, man, these people lie. That's how I felt about Christianity.
That's what happened to me with the 5%ers in the Nation of Gods and Earth versus the 5% Muslim gods or brothers in the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
When I first got the teachings, that's what I was told. So whenever I seen them brothers with, I probably would, patronize them, maybe get a bean pie, because the bean pie was good. The sisters in New York, they got the strawberry bean pie, blueberry bean, they got them all flavored. I get a final call, but at the end of the day, But then when I started getting bombed by some of the brothers and even ministers in the Nation of Islam, because my attitude was this, God. See, I could tell you what a lot of gods in the Nation of Gods and Earths go through. Because I've been there. I did that.
Yeah, I born them.
When I went to the mosque, it was a brother. We used to go to the mosque sometime. I'm still Nation of Gods and Earth. But when I would walk in the mosque, it would be a sense of arrogance, like, these niggas trying to teach, these 10% ass niggas trying to, they got our lessons, but they really don't know. But then after jumping out there, getting bombed, and then brothers were showing me tapes with what the messenger said.
Shit.
Back in the 60s and the 70s, it's like after about a year went by of just rigorous study, my mentality now was, what the hell did the Father bring?
My thing is this.
What did he give? What did the Father give us new that Elijah didn't give us? We're talking about a man, as you just said, from 1964 to 1969, and again, we could exclude those few years he was going away to Babylon.
So that's 2 years.
So we're talking about 2 years versus a man that was on the scene for 40 years.
And you don't supposed to go back to the root?
But we're not supposed to go back to the root. So that's why when I went back to the root, I'm like, everything the Father said, the messenger already said that. Elijah ain't start teaching the black man was God until, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life, because in 1934, he was asked the question, who is the original man? And at the end of that degree, it says God of the universe. God. So it's almost like me, again, coming to your house and seeing your moms, your old earth, and I'm like, why you ain't teaching your kids about sexual intercourse and stuff, and y'all only 5, 6, 7 years old? Come on, lady, what you doing? Why you ain't teaching right? Let her be a mother. There's a time to teach a certain teaching.
Sure did.
I had to learn that, God. When I came into the mosque, I was like, so this is why Elijah did it this way and not this way.
Yeah.
This is why.
Well, you know what? What made me more fluent in my lessons is when I read Message to the Black Man the 3rd time. I read the book 4 times from cover to cover. When I read it the 3rd time, I just gave the book to her earth. I let her have the book because I'm all that other. I say, here,
Yeah.
Because I asked her, God, this earth been an earth for like not as God years.
Mm.
And I said, have you ever read Message to the Black Man? She said, no, I never read it. Huh? I said, how do you know your lessons? How do you know who is that mystery God? And
I remember when I was in federal prison, there was a brother from Long Island. You know,
I gave him the book, God. I just say, here, this
yeah.
your book now.
A 5% from Long Island. One time we was walking through the halls and he was like, yo, God, you know, because we had just got through a service, in the Nation of Islam service. And I think I was up on a rostrum teaching that day, you know what I'm saying, presenting, because we would always show a video, you know, with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And the brother was like, yo, God, I didn't know in Our Savior Has Arrived, you know, Elijah Muhammad talked about the 23 elders. I was like, yes, sir. I was like, you never read that book?
He talked about the
He talked about it. He had knowledge for like 15 years almost. Wow. So I'm saying to myself, wow, you know, man.
He talked about that in the Message to the Black Man.
Message to the Black Man, you know, Our Savior Has Arrived. He went deeper into it in Our Savior Has Arrived. He talked about the 23 elders. You know, he talked about Muslim gods. He talked about all of that in there. And I'm like, you never read that? Mm-hmm. Now, this brother had knowledge of self longer than me, God. Mm-hmm. And I found it shocking he never touched those books. Yeah. You know, so at the end of the day, man.
Because it's like Christianity. It's religion. when you try to keep a person secluded right here, say, all I need is the Bible. Right. All I need is these scriptures.
You stay
instead of saying, hey, man, let's go out and do some research. But you know why? A lot of people, a lot of gods don't make newborns go do research. They might find a hole.
Yeah.
Like Christianity. You know why the pastor say, don't say, go study the Nicene Conference 332.
Yeah. Go study Constantine.
Yeah, go study
Ptolemy or your preacher's not going to tell you that.
You know why? Because you might find a hole. You might be like,
exactly.
So it's a hole here. So it was something before this.
It's just like how I said, is the U.S. government, like they did a major find. And there was an article I had posted about the U.S. government is an oligarchy, you know, which is a nation that it's ruled by a small clique of individuals. And they control the information. They control the education. They control what's taught in religion. They control, you think you got a voice, but you really don't.
No.
That's almost like what the 5%ers have become. It's become a nation that's ruled by a small individual. You know what I'm saying? Small clique of individuals that they control what information is to be taught, what's not to be taught.
God, you know what? I was looking at an old bill, and this old dumb to me. I went back. I said, man, let me just go back and see what the gods actually teach, because I know what I teach. I said, I looked at a bill with the God born mastermind. And I said, this God is profound. He's really teaching economics. He's everywhere. He's teaching nutrition. And his seed might not be my seed, might not be your seed. But if it's actual fact, it's actual fact. But these guys arguing with this guy over a cape.
Oh, yeah.
Him wearing a cape. Nigga James Brown wore a cape.
I mean, in Africa,
it's a cape, God.
In Africa, they, you know.
But just think about it, God. It don't matter.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what you wear. As long as you teach that the black man is God. I don't give a damn if you got a goddamn. Long as you ain't got no dress on.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you ain't got no crazy stuff on. Yeah. I don't care if you wear a goddamn Superman shirt. Yeah. Long as you teaching that the black man is God, you teaching these degrees right and exact. Man, you arguing with the man because he got on a cape?
I seen one video, I think, where it said we don't teach that at a law school or something like that, where the brother, and I left a comment on there. I think the brother was teaching, what was it, black body?
Yeah, black body science
or something like that. It's an older video, but I just thought that was like super crazy. Because, I mean, the brother's teaching science and mathematics.
Yeah, I'm like,
and they like, yo, we don't teach that at law school.
They don't. God, I forgot. Hold up. I forgot. It's just 120. Yeah. It's 120. It's all you need. 120 and a couple of computer classes.
The brother was teaching black body science, or that's what he said. I got to go back and look at the video, but they was like, we don't teach that at law school.
And then the Lord said, I teach this and I put it into the lessons. I showed
right. He made that clear. Yeah.
This dude said, no, we teach the lessons first. And foremost at school, we teach the lessons. Then you can do that. What?
I think I left a comment where I said something about gangster guards or some I can't remember now, but that's really
Yeah.
silly. It's really a silly
God.
argument. It's really, you know
I'll
what
be
I'm saying?
ashamed.
But this is
sometimes.
the reason why I guess they want you to come down to the school.
For what?
So they can start forming around you like, yo,
Man, please.
yo, call him a law, yo.
Like, look here, man.
Maybe that's the reason why. Because I mean, the way they was forming around the brother, I'm saying to myself, man,
Yeah.
what did he do that was so, you know? But I mean, you know, I don't know. But at the end of the day, man, yo, y'all brothers, man, please get on your studies, man. Study everything. Don't let nobody control your mind. You say you're free thinkers. Use your mind to use your head and start thinking and acting like a free thinker.
Go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a government shutdown right now. School of Mecca is gonna be open in 40 more years. Better hurry up because it might be, if you ain't writing exact Donald Trump in office, it might be closed a little earlier than that. But you want to build on 120. You don't want to build on economics. Yeah. And all we talk about, we never discredit the Father. And I said the Father. Right. Or Father Allah. We never discredit the Father. Right. We all give him props to what he brought to the table. You understand? But at the end of the day, and I said it, and I'm gonna say it again. Maybe the Father left the temple too early. Yeah. Because the Father didn't have the total discipline. And if the Father was still alive, you think the Father would be proud? Actually, and then you gotta be honest with yourself. If the Father was still alive, do you think the Father would be totally proud of the nation where it's at right now? Not just because, the nation spread it all over to every state. I'm talking about full ass where. Not just, all right, everybody in different states know 120. Would he be proud of the nation as a whole? Economically. Just everything. Yeah. No, definitely. And mentally. We teaching lessons, degrees that the Father gave. Because he would say, you didn't understand what I meant when I said plus degree. Exactly. That's what he would say. Yeah, we call, nation of gods and earths. That's really a plus degree. That is. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I God. That's a plus degree. Exactly. You saying overstanding. That's a plus degree. Having the understanding. So, we got all that, but what about when I said, get a trade, a vocational skill? The Father would be super pissed because he'd be like, y'all, come on. I left you with this. Yeah. And I come back to this? Yeah. It's like going to jail, going to prison. You go to prison, then you come out after doing your bid, you go back around your old neighborhood, you see the same dudes on the same corner doing the same thing. You like, what? Y'all still standing in the front of the school doing this? I left. I left for years. I came back and y'all still on the same corner. Let me look at the school, look the same? I left the school, it looked like this. It's not a second floor, a third floor added onto the building? Like y'all, I'm back to the future. We should contractors in the nation. Yeah. Like, we should have extended, and that building should be 3-4 floors. And please don't tell me about, this going to go to school and this going to do this. I'm talking about as a whole. As a whole. We ain't talking about sprinkling of people here and there.